Welcome everybody, Stephen here, going live on Wisely Living. I'm excited to share with you today 5 simple techniques for hip pain and better mobility. So if you've been struggling with any discomfort in your hips or just limited range of motion, this is going to be the video for you. We're going to cover these simple stretches. You can do them at home. It's going to help alleviate that discomfort and improve your overall well-being. Anytime we can bring, motion is lotion. Anytime we can bring movement into the body, it's always a helpful thing. So make sure you stick around until the end. Feel free to ask any questions in the chat. Let's get started. So if coming onto the ground, I know you're like, my hips hurt, so getting onto the ground is not an option for me. These can all be done just lying in your bed. And I have a lot of clients that actually take the time to do that in the morning or the evening that actually suffer from hip pain. So if coming onto the ground doesn't work for you, you can at least watch and get an idea of what the stretches are, come back to the replay, and you can do this in your bed. But most of we're going to do kind of a follow-on practice. The other thing you will need is a yoga strap. If you don't have a yoga strap, a belt, a bathrobe, tie, a dog leash, there's many things that you can do. You don't necessarily have to have that. All right. So we are going to start in a reclined position. We're going to have the left leg long, the right knee bent. And what I want you to do is reach out for your right knee. You're going to take a big inhale. And as you exhale, you're going to release the chin or the knee closer to your chest. I want you to try to actively work on releasing the hamstring, letting go in the glutes. Give me one more big inhale. And as you exhale, draw the knee just a little closer. And we're going to want to hold this for about 30 seconds. It's really good for the glutes. Everything is connected. So while we're not just stretching the hips, we're stretching the things that surround them. And let's go ahead and release. We're going to switch that up. So we're going to extend that right leg long. Grabbing the top of your left knee right there below the kneecap. Big inhale. Exhale. Draw the knee in. Give yourself a moment to settle. Give me another big inhale. And an exhale. As you draw the knee just a little closer to your chest. And you should be feeling that nice stretch down the hamstring and into the glutes. And we're kind of starting off slow here. And these are going to get progressively just a little more difficult. But, always listening to your body, not pushing past your ability, and trying to remain comfortably challenged. Let's go ahead and set that down. All right. So when the left foot meets the mat, we're going to step that right foot up to meet it. So both knees are bent, soles of the feet are on the floor. And I want you to step out, maybe like a foot's width wider than your hips. For me, it's usually like good rule of thumb is the outer edges of a yoga mat. So with that there, we're going to do what we call windshield wiper knees. And this is really good for getting into the hip flexors. So all you're going to do is just let both knees dip off to the left, coming out to the sides of your feet. And again, we're going to hold this for about 30 seconds. And then we're going to slowly shift over to the right. And again, coming into our 30 seconds. I may not be getting 30 exactly. It's hard to count and speak at the same time. So when you do this practice by yourself, making sure you take the time to hold it for the full 30 seconds. And after you've had that 30 seconds on each side, we're just going to gently windshield wiper back and forth. So taking it at your own pace. Do try to pause at each station, let that stretch happen before you transition. But it's just a gentle motion as you guide your knees side to side. And on the next transition, we'll bring it back into center. And we're going to do now, in yoga, we always call it a reclined pigeon, but it's also commonly referred to as a figure 4 exercise. So we're crossing the ankle over the top of the knee. So we're going to start right ankle over the top of the left knee. I always like to try to protect the joint as much as possible. So by flexing the foot, pulling your toes toward the knee really helps protect that joint by engaging the muscles. So if doing this reclined doesn't feel good for you, there is also an option to sit up. And this is, if you have really, really tight hamstrings, this might be a better spot for you to start. So it's a really good piriformis stretch, which is why I like it. So either up like this or completely reclined. And if you're getting a good stretch here, that's great. You can also just take and move your right knee away from your body. So just using the muscles of your leg to direct it forward, that's going to bring a little more stretch. And if you want to go still one level deeper, we're just going to reach the hands through, one hand through the hole here, the other on the side, grasping underneath the left knee. Keep your head and shoulders reclined to the mat. And you're going to slowly draw that left knee into the chest. So those are all different options. Remember, we're all built differently. We're all doing yoga for a different reason. So be kind to yourself, listen to your body, and only do the level that feels best. And let's go ahead and release. Switching sides, we're going to cross that left ankle over the top of the right knee, flexing that foot. And again, taking the option that works best for you. I'm going to do the full recline, drawing that right knee into the chest. Continue to use the breath. It's amazing how much tension and tightness you can let go by just drawing in a deep inhale and a slow, controlled exhale. And we're going to go ahead and release that as well. So again, about 30 seconds on each side. That's kind of a good rule of thumb whenever we're coming into stretching. So now we're just going to take the soles of the feet and bring them together, and we're going to let the knees fall out wide. And you should be feeling a pretty good stretch almost immediately here on the inner thighs and into the hips. So if you're getting a good stretch here, again, stay here. If you want, you can add just a little bit of weight by resting your hands on your inner thighs. But we're not trying to push the knees down so we strain anything. It's just adding a little bit of weight into the stretch. Continue to stay connected to that breath. With each exhale, releasing just a little more tension and tightness. We're going to go ahead and draw those knees back into each other. All right, so now we're going to go ahead. This is a nice stretch for the hamstrings and the IT band. We're going to go ahead and take that strap and we're going to place it on the foot. So either on the ball of the foot or on the heel. I'd rather not see it right there in the center of the arch where we're going to pull into all that soft tissue. So find a spot on the heel or on the ball of your foot. And if it's comfortable, you can extend that bottom leg straight out. It'll take a lot of pressure off if you bend your knee. So whichever comfort level you have. So we're going to start just by drawing the leg a little bit closer. You're instantly going to feel that in the hamstrings. And then you're going to go ahead and pass both of the straps into your right hand, and you're going to guide your right leg or your left, depending upon what side you start on, across your body. Now, you don't have to keep, you actually want to let the glutes and that low back leave the ground as we come over. So don't feel like you got to keep everything rooted. Just slowly guide your leg across toward the floor, and you're going to feel it. You will definitely feel when you've hit that sweet spot or you're getting a nice stretch. And we're going to bring that back into the center. Let's go ahead and switch it up. So again, bringing the strap to the heel or the ball of the foot, starting by drawing the leg up towards your torso, getting that nice stretch in the hamstrings. I mean, I even feel this in the calves. Usually I do a little more forward folding stretches just to get the legs going before I come into this one. So that might be, we do have another video on forward folding, so you might want to check that one out. But really just reaching for your toes sometimes is a really great warm-up. And really this hamstring is not the main stretch we're going for. It's when we cross over. So let's go ahead and do that. You can see I'm letting my glutes leave the ground there. And we're going to draw that back into center. And go ahead and release. All right. Well, there we go. Short and sweet, just how we like them. So take that at your own pace, dissect it, see what feels good in your body. But really, those are the top 5 stretches that are going to help you just find that mobility and alleviate any tightness or pain that you have associated with the hips. So there we go. Thank you so much for joining me today. Give yourself a pat on the back as always. You did it. If you enjoyed this content, please give our stream a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel if you haven't already. I'm going to continue going live to work my way through the body every Wednesday at 1 p.m. now until the end of September. Each week, I'm going to offer ways to alleviate pain on a specific part of the body. So we'd love to hear your thoughts. and suggestions. So feel free to leave a comment below. Your feedback is how we create content that we know that you are going to love and find interesting. And remember that your journey is unique. We're here to support you every step of the way, either here on YouTube or at wiselyliving.media. There's links to both of those in the description below. Until next time, stay mindful, stay active, stay balanced.